coccyx. Okay. So this is the sacrum along with the coccyx. Okay, this part is sacrum and this part is coccyx. So first of all, we will study about the sacrum. So basically, sacrum is a flattened triangular bone. Okay. Sacrum is a flattened triangular bone. How is this sacrum formed? We have 5 sacral vertebra which fuses with each other to form this sacrum. Okay. So sacrum is a flattened triangular bone which is formed by the fusion of 5 sacral vertebra. Okay. And here you can see the sacrum is present between 2 pelvic bones. Okay. So it articulates with 2 pelvic bones on either side. Okay. And it is present below the L5 lumbar vertebra. Okay. So sacrum is a flattened triangular bone which is formed by the fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. Now what is the function of sacrum? So it helps in the transfer of weight from the body to the pelvic girdle. Okay, it forms the pelvis. You have seen here it articulates with 2 hip bone on either side to form the bony pelvis. Okay, and it also supports the vertebral column. So these are the functions of sacrum. Now how do you hold the sacrum in anatomical position? Okay, so this surface of sacrum is called the pelvic surface. Okay, or ventral surface or pelvic surface, and this is called the dorsal surface of sacrum. So this is how you hold the sacrum in anatomical position. So this pelvic surface should be forward and downward. Okay, and this dorsal surface should be upward and backward, and the upper surface, which is formed by the superior surface of the first sacral vertebra, should make an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. Okay, and there will be one gap which is called the sacral canal. Okay, it is backward and forward. So this is how you hold the sacrum in anatomical position. Okay, the pelvic surface should be forward, okay, and downward. The dorsal surface should be backward and upward, and the sacral canal should be backward and forward, and the superior surface of the sacrum should make an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. Okay, so this is the anatomical position of sacrum. You can see here also. Okay, this is how the sacrum is in anatomical position. Okay, clear? Anatomical position. Now the parts of sacrum. So it has a base, okay, which is the upper part. It has an apex, which is the lower part. Okay, this is the base, which is the upper part, and this is the apex, which is the lower part. Okay, surfaces. This is facing the pelvis. So this is the pelvic surface or anterior surface, or what is the shape of this surface? Concave or convex? Concave. So it is pelvic surface, anterior surface, or concave surface, and this is the dorsal surface, okay, or convex. Okay, and it has 2 lateral surfaces. Okay, so base, apex, anterior surface or pelvic surface, and dorsal surface or convex surface. Now first of all we will study from the front view of the sacrum. So like this. So what are the things we can see in the front part? So it has a medial segment. This is the medial part, and this is the lateral part. Okay, this is the medial part, and these are the lateral part of the anterior surface of the sacrum. So in this medial part you can see that here are some transverse ridges. Can you see? These transverse ridges, these are basically the fusion of the sacral vertebra. Okay, so this is the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. This transverse ridges represent the fusion of the sacral vertebra. Okay, so we have the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay. Now how is the okay? Now lateral to it we can see some foramen here. So how many foramen? 8. So these are called it is present on the ventral surface. So these are called ventral sacral foramen. Okay. Through it we have the ventral rami of the S1 to S4 nerves. Okay. It comes out through this foramen. Okay. Ventral sacral foramen. Okay. And lateral to it we have the lateral masses here. Okay. So this is the anterior surface or concave surface. We have the transverse ridges over here. There are 4 transverse ridges which represents the fusion of the sacral vertebra. Then lateral to it we have foramina. 4 pairs of foramina which are called the ventral sacral foramina. Okay, through it the ventral rami, okay, ventral rami of S1 to S4 sacral lumps comes out through it. Okay, and lateral to it we have the lateral masses. See, these are the transverse ridges we have which we have seen in the bone. So this represents the fusion of the sacral vertebra. So this is the first, this is the second, this is third, fourth and fifth. Okay, and these are the foramina. Okay, it is present on the ventral surface. So ventral sacral foramina through which the ventral rami of S1 to S4 sacral lumps comes out. Okay, and lateral to it are the lateral masses of the sacrum. Clear? Now the sacrum from above. Okay, so this is how the sacrum looks from above. Okay, so it has 3 parts. Okay, this is the median part and this is the 2 lateral part. Okay, this is the median part and these are the 2 lateral part. Clear? Okay, so this median part, how is this median part formed? What is this part of the vertebra called? Body of the vertebra. So it is formed by the body of the first sacral vertebra. Okay, and these two are these two are fan shaped. Okay, so they are so what I told, these are the lateral masses of sacrum. So these two represent the superior surface of the lateral mass of sacrum, and these two are called the ala of the sacrum. Okay, ala of the sacrum. See, these two are called the ala of the sacrum. This median part is formed by the body of the first sacral vertebra, and laterally we have 2 fan-shaped areas which are called the ala of the sacrum, which is basically the superior surface of lateral mass of sacrum. Okay, so this is formed by the body of the sacrum of the first sacral vertebra, and these are called the ala of the sacrum. Okay. Now this anterior margin of the body of the sacrum is called the sacral promontory. Okay, this anterior margin of the body of the first sacral vertebra is called the sacral promontory. Clear? And posteriorly, actually this part will be hollow. Okay, so this is what? This is the vertebral foramina. Okay, they continue with the sacral canal. Actually the vertebral foramina of all the 5 sacral vertebrae will superimpose with each other. Okay, and they will form the sacral canal. Okay, so it will lead through the sacral canal. Okay, and here what are these? Foramen. What foramen? Ventral sacral foramen. Okay, they will communicate with the posterior sacral foramen through the intervertebral foramen. Okay, you can see they are communicating with each other through the intervertebral foramen. Okay. Okay, so from front what we have seen, this is the medial part and these are the lateral part. Medial part has 4 transverse ridges which is basically representing the fusion of sacral vertebra. Okay, and lateral to it we have 4 pairs of ventral sacral foramen through which the ventral rami of S1 to S4 sacral lump comes out. Okay, and lateral to it we have the lateral masses. Okay, and this anterior anterior foramen or ventral sacral foramen will communicate with the posterior sacral foramen through the intervertebral foramen. Clear? And above what we have seen, this is the medial part and 2 lateral part. Medial part is formed by the body of first sacral vertebra, and lateral part, these are called the ala. Okay. Okay, and this is known as this anterior margin is known as the sacral promontory. Okay, and posteriorly we have this triangular area which is basically the vertebral foramen. They will superimpose on each other to form the sacral canal. Okay, now behind. Okay, can you see these 2 structures? What are these? These are superior articular processes. Okay, so these are arising from what is this part of the vertebra called? Pedicle. So pedicle, and what is this called? Lamina. So the superior articular process are arising between the pedicle and the lamina. The pedicle is short, as you can see here, the pedicle is short and thick. Okay, and the lamina is oblique. Okay, so this superior articular facet arising between the pedicle and the lamina, it will articulate with what? Inferior articular facet of L5 lumbar vertebra. Okay, so these are the superior articular facet. Okay, you can see here it is articulating with the inferior articular facet of L5 vertebra. Clear? Okay. Now we have some structures here. So you can see this projected structures. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone can see. back side. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are known as the spinal tubercles. Okay, spinal tubercles. These are basically the spinous processes, the fused spinous process. In vertebra, we have the spinous process. Okay, so these are the spinous tubercles which is formed by the fused spinous processes of the sacral vertebra. Okay, these are the spinal tubercles. So this is the median sacral crest. Okay, basically on the posterior side we are having median sacral crest, intermediate sacral crest and lateral sacral crest. Okay, median, intermediate and lateral. So this spinous tubercle, which are basically the spinous processes, is the median sacral crest. Okay, this one. Okay, now we'll go laterally. Now lateral to it, you can see here, these are the fused lamina. Okay, so these are the fused lamina of the lateral to it. These are the fused lamina of the sacral vertebra. Okay. Okay, so the four S1, S2, S3, S4 will lamina will fuse with each other, but S5 will not fuse. Okay, and hence it will form this U-shaped or curved structure. Can you see? This is known as the sacral hiatus. Okay, so in the middle we have the spinal tubercles, which are basically the spinous processes, and it is forming the median sacral crest. This one is the median sacral crest. Okay, and lateral to it we have the fused lamina. The first four vertebral lamina will fuse, but the fifth one will not be able to fuse and will form this U-shaped structure which is known as the sacral hiatus. Okay, clear? Now lateral to it we have this. Can you see this? Okay, this projected structures. So these are in line with the what is this I told? Superior articular process. So these structures are lying just in line with the superior articular process. Okay, so these are the fused articular processes. Okay, and this is the intermediate sacral crest. On both sides we are having intermediate sacral crest which will lie in line with the superior articular process of the first sacral vertebra. Clear? Sure? Okay. And medial to the lateral to it we are having foramen. What will be the name of this foramen? Posterior sacral foramen. Okay, so it will or the dorsal sacral foramen. So it will through it the dorsal rami of the S1 to S4 sacral nerves will pass. Okay. Okay. Now lateral to it we have this here. This is the lateral sacral crest. Okay, so this is basically the fusion of the transverse processes of the sacral vertebra. Okay, I'm saying again, so we have median sacral crest, intermediate sacral crest and lateral sacral crest. Okay, median, intermediate and lateral. See here. Okay, see, this is the median sacral crest, this is the intermediate sacral crest and this is the lateral sacral crest. Okay, median sacral crest is formed by the spinous tubercle, okay, which is basically the spinous processes of the sacral vertebra. Okay, you can see that in the middle we have the spinous process. Okay, so it will be formed by the spinous processes. So this projected part are called the spinous tubercle. Okay, clear? Lateral to it we have this part. Okay, this is the lamina. So the lamina of the sacral vertebra fuses of S1 to S4, but S5 will not be able to fuse and hence they will form this structure which is the sacral hiatus. Clear? Okay, lateral to it we have, what is this? We have the superior articular process. Then in line with this there will be one crest which is called the intermediate sacral crest, which are basically the articular processes of the other sacral vertebra. Okay, now you can see here two projected part, this one and this one. Can you see? This one on either side of the sacral hiatus. This is basically the inferior articular process of the S5 vertebra. Clear? Understood? The inferior articular process of the S5 vertebra will form this two projected part which is known as the sacral cornua. Okay, now we have the lateral sacral crest which is formed by the fused transverse processes of the sacral vertebra. Clear everyone? And we have here the dorsal sacral foramina through which the dorsal rami of S1 to S4 nerves comes out. Clear? Posterior surface. Okay. Now similarly the posterior foramina will communicate with the anterior through the intervertebral foramina. Okay. Now from the lateral side, okay, so lateral side, with which bone it articulates on both sides? Pelvic bone. Which part of the pelvic bone? Ilium, ischium or pubis? Ilium. You can see here it is articulating with the ilium, okay, ilium of the hip bone. Okay, so have you seen the auricular surface of ilium? Do you remember? Okay, so similarly in sacrum we have this auricular surface. Okay, this is the auricular surface. It articulates with the auricular surface of the ilium to form the sacroiliac joint. Okay, it will articulate with the surface of ilium to form the sacroiliac joint. This can you see this inverted L-shaped articular surface? This is called the auricular surface. Okay, auricular. Okay. This is the auricular articular surface because it resembles the auricle of the pinna. Okay, that is why it is known as the auricular articular surface. It is inverted L-shaped. Okay, this inverted L-shape, can you see? Okay, so this part or the cephalic part lies along the S1 vertebra and the caudal part will lie along the S2 and S3 vertebra. Okay, this part will lie along the S1 and this part will lie along S2 and S3. Okay, so this part articulates with the auricular surface of the ilium. Okay, and they form the sacroiliac joint. Clear? Okay, and from lateral side we can see that this surface is pelvic surface is concave, okay, and the dorsal surface is convex. Okay, clear? Everyone is understanding? Also you can see that here this part is broad and this part is narrower. Okay, and this part is known as this angle is known as the inferolateral angle of sacrum. Okay, this angle is known as the inferolateral angle of sacrum. Okay, and here we have some attachments from behind to forward. We have first gluteus maximus, then sacrotuberous ligament, then sacrospinous, and then coccygeus. Okay, here we can see the attachments from behind to forward. Okay, are you getting? This is the behind and this is the front part. Okay, so we have the first of all we have the gluteus maximus, then sacrotuberous ligament, then sacrospinous ligament, and the coccygeus muscle. Okay, so this part articulates with, so this is the base, this articulate with the body of the L5 vertebra, okay, and we have the apex here, okay, so this is the apex of the sacrum, okay, the lower part is called the apex of the sacrum, so it has an articular surface by which it articulates with the coccyx to form the sacrococcygeal joint, okay. Now sacral canal. So what I told, the vertebral foramina of all the sacral vertebra will combine with each other and they will form the vertebral canal. So the vertebral canal will lead through the sacral canal. Okay, this is basically a canal, but as it's fiber bone, it's not seen here. This is basically a canal. Okay, this is, the vertebral canal leads to the sacral canal. Superiorly, it will join with the vertebral canal of the lumbar vertebra, and inferiorly, it opens into the sacral hiatus. Okay, this is sacral hiatus and these are the sacral cornua. Okay, now what are the content of sacral canal? Okay, or what are the structures that passes through the sacral canal? It is very important. Okay, so first is the lower part of cauda equina. Do you know what is cauda equina? Okay, you can see here cauda equina are basically the sacral and the coccygeal nerves. Okay, this looks like a tail of a horse. Okay, cauda equina. That is why the name. Okay, so these are basically the sacral and the coccygeal nerves. So the lower end of the cauda equina will pass through the sacral canal. Then we have the filum terminal. So this is the filum terminal. Okay, it basically this is the conus medullaris. Conus medullaris is basically the lower end of spinal cord. So filum terminal will extend from the conus medullaris till the coccyx. Okay, so first is the lower part of chorda equina, second is the phylum terminale, and then the spinal meninges, you know, dura mater, arachnoid mater, pia mater. So spinal meninges and the lateral sacral vessels. So these are the structures which passes through the sacral canal. First is the lower part of chorda equina, second is phylum terminale, lateral sacral vessels and spinal meninges. Okay, so these are the contents of the spinal canal, and the dura mater and arachnoid mater will end at the level of S2. Okay, now what are the structures that comes out through the sacral hiatus? Okay, we have the fifth sacral nerve, coccygeal nerve, and the phylum terminale. Okay, so through the sacral canal we have the lower part of chorda equina, phylum terminale, spinal meninges and the lateral sacral nerves, and through the sacral hiatus we have the fifth sacral nerve, coccygeal nerve and phylum terminale. Okay, will you remember contents of the sacral canal and what are the structures which passes through the sacral hiatus? Now this is the male sacrum and this is the female sacrum. Okay, so the male sacrum is different from that of the female sacrum. Okay, till this clear the structures? Okay, I'm saying, so I'm repeating again. Okay, so basically sacrum is a flattened triangular bone. Clear? It's a flattened triangular bone. Okay, on either side it articulates with the hip bone or the ilium of the hip bone to form the sacroiliac joint. Clear? Okay, how is sacrum formed? The 5 sacral vertebra fuses with each other to form the sacrum. Clear? Okay. Now what are the structures we need to know in what are the functions of sacrum? Is suppose the vertebral canal, it transfers the weight of the body to the pelvic girdle. That is why it is thicker in the upper part. Okay, it has to transfer the weight. Okay, and it forms the pelvis. The posterior part of the pelvis is formed by the sacrum. Clear? Now what are the parts we have seen? This is the this is the base or the upper part. This is the apex or the lower part. Okay, base or upper part, apex or lower part. Okay, what are the surface? This is you can see that here it is facing the pelvis. This surface, so it is a pelvic surface. It is facing anteriorly, and anterior surface, ventral surface or concave surface. If you know one, you can tell other. This is facing the pelvis, so pelvic surface. This is concave surface, anterior or ventral. Okay, this is first. Second is, what will be this? This is the dorsal surface. Okay. Now we have and we have two lateral surfaces. Okay, in the anterior surface what we have seen? We have seen this 4 transverse ridges, which is basically the fusion of the sacral vertebra. You have seen the 4 transverse ridges. Okay, so first, second, third, fourth and fifth sacral vertebra. Okay, lateral to it we have seen this foramina, 4 pairs of foramen which are called the ventral sacral foramen. Okay, through which the ventral rami of S1 to S4 now will come out. Okay, and then we have the lateral masses. Okay, then what we have seen here, we have seen that this is the superior surface of the first sacral vertebra. This will be the superior surface of first sacral vertebra. It has a median part and 2 lateral part. Median part is formed by the body of first sacral vertebra. Okay, and the lateral part are called the lateral masses. Okay, lateral masses, superior part forms this fan-like structure which are called the ala of the sacrum. Okay, these are called the ala of the sacrum. Now this anterior margin is prominent. It is called the sacral promontory. Okay, and behind we have seen this triangle vertebral foramen which leads to the sacral canal. Okay. Posteriorly what we have seen that we have 2 superior articular processes of the first sacral vertebra, okay, which articulate with the inferior articular process of fifth lumbar vertebra. Okay, and they arises between the pedicle and the lamina. The pedicle, as you can see here, is short and thick, okay, and the lamina are oblique. Okay, so the superior articular process arises between these 2. Okay, it articulates with the inferior articular process of L5 vertebra. Okay, and then we have seen there are crests. Okay, there is median sacral crest, intermediate sacral crest and the lateral sacral crest. So this is the median sacral crest, which is basically the spinous processes, and these are called the spinous tubercle. Okay, it is looking like a tubercle, so these are called the spinous tubercle. Lateral to it we have the lamina, which are fused in case of S1 to S4, but the S5 will not be able to fuse and will form this structure which is the sacral hiatus. Okay, Then what we have seen, lateral to it we have foramen, which are called the posterior sacral foramen, through which the posterior rami of S1 to S4 nerve will pass. Then we have the now medial to it we have this intermediate sacral crest. Okay, this is in line with the superior articular process. Okay, but the inferior articular process will form two structure which is known as the sacral cornua. Okay, it will form the sacral cornua. Okay, and here we have finally we have the lateral sacral crest. On both sides we are having, okay, on both sides intermediate, on both sides lateral sacral crest, which is basically the transverse process. Clear till this? Okay, now the male sacrum and female sacrum are different from each other. Okay, this is the male sacrum and this is the female sacrum. In male sacrum, this is, what is this? This is the body, and what are these? Ala. Okay, so in male sacrum, if we take the breadth of this body, it will be more than the ala. Okay, you can see here, if we take the breadth of this body, it will be more than the ala, but in case of female it is opposite. Okay, and you can see that the sacroiliac articulation. Okay, here in male sacrum it will extend till the third sacral vertebra, but in female it will end here only, about 2.5 to 3 sacral vertebra. Okay, understood? Next is the pelvic curvature. So you can see that it is uniformly curved, but here it is abruptly curved. Can you see here there is an abrupt curve here? Okay, so and next is dorsal convex. Okay, it is less convex but it is more convex. Okay, and sacral promontory, it will be more projected in case of male sacrum and less projected in case of female sacrum. And what is sacral index? Basically breadth by length will be the sacral index. How do you calculate sacral index? We have to take the transverse diameter of the sacrum, that is the breadth of the sacrum, and the anterior length of the sacrum. Okay, so breadth divided by the length will give into 100 will give you the sacral index. Okay, it is less in case of male, which is less than 114, and in female it is more than 140. Okay, so male sacrum, what we have told, that if we take the breadth of the body of the vertebra, it will be more than the ala, but in female it is opposite. Sacroiliac articulation, it will here it will articulate with the ilium. So in case of male it will extend up to third sacral vertebra, but in case of female it is less. Okay, here you can see that the pelvic curvature is uniform, but you can see here that it is abruptly curved. Okay, it is more curved. Okay, and also the convex dorsal surface is also less marked, but it is more marked. Okay, clear? Sacral promontory will be more projected in case of male and less in case of female. Okay, and sacral index, how do you calculate the sacral index? Breadth by length. Okay, so it is less in case of male than female. This is how you differentiate the male sacrum from female sacrum. Ossification of sacrum is not that much important. You will just know that sacral pieces will be united by cartilage till 20 years, and after 20 years they will unite with one another. So the sacral pieces, okay, or the sacral vertebral segments. Now coccyx. What is the other name of coccyx? Tailbone. Okay, so this is the coccyx. So coccyx also same. It has a base, just like the sacrum. It has an apex. This is the base, this is the apex. This will be what surface? Pelvic surface, and this will be the dorsal surface, and these are the lateral margins of the coccyx. Okay, so the base will articulate with the, what is this? What is this of sacrum? Apex of sacrum. So the base will articulate with the apex of sacrum. Okay, and form the sacrococcygeal joint. Okay, now we'll see about the muscle attachments. So here you can see there are two projections from the coccyx, which are called the cornua. Okay, you have seen the sacral cornua, which are the inferior articular process of the fifth sacral vertebra. Similarly, in coccyx we have the superior articular process from the first coccygeal vertebra. It will unite with the sacral cornua. Okay, so these are coccyx cornua and these are sacral cornua. These will unite with one another okay, through the intercornual ligaments. Okay. Okay, now the apex. So apex is basically, you can see that this is the apex. It is lying just opposite to the superior margin of the pubic symphysis. Okay, this is the apex of the coccyx. It is just opposite to the superior margin of pubic symphysis. Okay, so this is the apex of the coccyx. Now these are the muscle attachments. Okay, first of all we will see about the pelvic surface, and then we will go to the dorsal surface. Okay, in case of pelvic surface, I am telling about the coccyx only now. Okay, so on both sides we have the coccygeus muscle. Here that is the upper two part. Okay, upper two part of the coccyx will be by coccygeus muscle, and here will be levator ani. Okay, and the lower end of the apex will be connected with the external anal sphincter, is related to external anal sphincter. Okay, and the anococcygeal ligament. Okay, so we have the you can see here we have the coccygeus muscle here, and here we have the levator ani. Okay, now okay, this is the ganglion impar. I will tell about ganglion impar later. Okay. Now this is the dorsal surface. This dorsal surface laterally will be related with gluteus maximus muscle. Okay, gluteus maximus muscle, and lower part again will be related to the external anal sphincter. Okay, and the upper part will be related with the filum termini. Filum termini I have shown you. Okay, clear filum termini. Okay. This is so this is a sacrum. So now we'll see the relations and the attachment of the pelvic surface. Okay, first pelvic surface, then dorsal surface. Now sacrum. So in the medially we have the median sacral vessels. Okay, and on both sides we have the sympathetic trunk. Okay, medially we have the medial sacral vessels, and on both sides we have the sympathetic trunk. Okay. See, this is the median sacral vessel. On both sides we have the medial sacral trunk, and these are what that are coming through the ventral sacral foramen, ventral lemma of sacral nerves. Okay, so this is the median sacral vessel. Lateral to it will be the sympathetic nerve. Okay, and these are the ventral lemma of sacral nerves. Okay, then we have this muscle here which is called the piriformis. Okay, it is, you can see that it is in the shape of a E. Okay, so piriformis is attached in the shape of it. It is related to the middle three sacral vertebra. Okay, second, third, and fourth. Okay, it is present on the pelvic surface. Okay, so so these are the attachments and relations of the pelvic surface. Also, the upper two part will be related with the peritoneum, the parietal peritoneum, and the lower part is related with the rectum. Okay, the upper part will be related to peritoneum, except one part there will be no peritoneum, which is attached with the medial limb of the sigmoid mesocolon. Okay, and the lower part is related with the rectum. So medially we have what? Medially we have the median sacral vessels. On both sides we have the sympathetic trunk. Through it we have the ventral lemma of the sacral nerves. Okay, and we have the piriformis muscle here in the form of a E. Okay, and this is the ala of the sacrum. In the anterior part, laterally we have the iliacus muscle here. Okay, and here posteriorly we have the lumbosacral ligament. Okay, here we have the lumbosacral ligament. So anteriorly ala we have the iliacus muscle, and posteriorly we have the lumbosacral ligament. Okay, on the pelvic surface, medially we have the median sacral vessels, laterally we have the sympathetic trunk. Okay, we have the piriformis muscle here in the shape of a E. Okay, now ala of the sacrum, anteriorly we are having the iliacus, and posteriorly we are having the lumbosacral ligament, because above will be lumbar vertebra, sacrum, lumbosacral ligament. Okay, and again first two part will be related with the peritoneum, and rest is related with the rectum. And I told in case of coccyx that it is related with the coccygeus muscle, and here we have the levator ani. Okay, so clear pelvic. So what are the things that are present in the pelvic surface of sacrum and coccyx? Okay, first of all tell me about the ala. In case of ala, anteriorly we are having the iliacus, and posteriorly we are having the lumbosacral ligament. Okay, now pelvic surface of sacrum, medially we are having the what vessels? Medial sacral vessels. Okay, and on both sides we are having the sympathetic trunk. Through the foramina, we are having the ventral sacral nerves. Okay, ventral rami of sacral nerves. And again, we are having here the piriformis muscle in the shape of a E. Okay, coccyx, anteriorly we are having the coccygeus muscle, and in the lower part we are having the levator ani. Okay, first two part is related with the peritoneum, except at the side where it is attached with the sigmoid mesocolon. Okay, and the lower part is related with the rectum. Okay, now the dorsal surface. Okay. Dorsal surface, we have one muscle which is called the erector spinae muscle. Okay, so here you can see that it is the erector spinae muscle. How is this muscle attached? So it is attached to, what are this? What tubercles? Spinous tubercle. So it is attached to the spinous tubercle, and what are this? Transverse tubercles. This is the lateral one. Okay, so it is attached through the spinous tubercle to the transverse tubercle. So erector spinae is attached like this. Okay, and in the space inside the erector spinae, we have this muscle which is called the multifidus. Okay, so erector spinae is attached through the spinous tubercle to the transverse tubercles. Okay, these are the lateral sacral crest found by the transverse processes. Transverse tubercles, these are so. Okay, so this is attached like this, and the area here will be attachment of the multifidus muscle. Okay, you can see here this is the erector spinae and this is the multifidus. And through it what nerves will come? What sacral nerves? Which rami? Dorsal rami. Okay, so here you can see that it has to pierce these two muscles, multifidus and erector spinae. Okay, okay. And here what I told, posteriorly we are having the gluteus maximus here. Okay, and this apex is related to the external anal sphincter and anococcygeal ligament. Okay, because anus is related to it. Okay, now this is the ala of the sacrum. Now from medial to lateral we have some structures. Okay, how will you remember it? See, first is SLIO. With S we have the sympathetic chain. Okay, from medial to lateral. First we have the sympathetic chain, then we have the lumbosacral trunk, then we have the iliolumbar artery, and then we have the obturator nerve. Okay, SLIO. For S we have the sympathetic chain, for L we have the lumbosacral trunk, I iliolumbar artery, and O is obturator nerve. Okay, so these are the structures which are attached to the ala of the sacrum from medial to lateral. Okay. Okay. Now the ligaments. So here it is articulating with the ilium. Okay, and it is forming what joint? Sacroiliac joint. Okay, which is basically this is the sacroiliac joint. It's a synovial joint. Okay. So it is articulating with this is the auricular surface of the sacrum, and it will articulate with the auricular surface of ilium. Okay, and there are some ligaments which are attached. First is fibrous capsule, which will be lined by synovial membrane around the articular margin. Then we have the ventral sacroiliac ligament, interosseous sacroiliac ligament, and dorsal. Ventral will be here, dorsal, then interosseous inside the joint, sacroiliac, because sacrum with ilium. Okay, so we have ventral, interosseous, and dorsal sacroiliac ligament. So here you can see that this is the anterior or the ventral sacroiliac ligament. Okay, this is the ventral surface. Okay, next we have the interosseous sacroiliac ligament, and here we have the posterior ligament. Okay, posterior sacroiliac ligament or the dorsal sacroiliac ligament. Then we have this ligament. Okay, so here what I told, relations from behind to forward, we have the gluteus maximus, then sacrotuberous, sacrospinous, and coccygeus. Okay, from behind to forward, gluteus maximus, sacrotuberous, sacrospinous, and coccygeus. So here you can see that this is the sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, from the sacrum and coccyx it will join with the, what is this? Ischial tuberosity. Okay, so sacrotuberous ligament from sacrum and coccyx to the ischial tuberosity, and sacrospinous ligament from sacrum and coccyx to the spine, ischial spine. Okay, so sacrotuberous ligament and sacrospinous ligament, and iliolumbar ligament. Okay, Now I already told that this part is first two part is related with the peritoneum and this part is related with the rectum. Okay. Okay. Now sacralization and lumbarization has been already taught to you. Sacralization means what? The fifth lumbar vertebrae or sometimes the coccygeal, first coccygeal vertebrae may combine with the sacrum. Sacral vertebrae. This is known as the sacralization. Okay, so the sacral vertebral foramen will increase. And what is lumbarization? The first sacral vertebrae can detach and it will combine with the lumbar. So in that case, the sacral vertebral foramen will decrease. Okay, and what is coccydynia? It is basically due to trauma, the coccyx separate from the sacrum. Okay. Okay, now ganglionic impur was left. Okay, so what happens here? What was there in the middle? Medial sacral vessel, and on both sides we are having the sympathetic trunk. So ganglionic impur is present on the first body of the first coccygeal vertebrae. These two sympathetic trunk will combine together and form the ganglion impur. Okay, it is present on the body of the first coccygeal vertebra. Okay, here you can see it is present on the body of first coccygeal vertebra. Okay, it is ganglionic impur. So how do you hold it? Like this. Okay, this is what surface? Pelvic surface. It should face forward and downward. Okay, this is what? This is the sacral canal, backward and forward. Okay, clear? And this surface, which is the superior surface of the first sacral vertebra, will make an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal. So this is how you hold the sacrum. Okay, so now tell me, what is this surface? Concave or ventral surface or pelvic surface? What is this surface? Dorsal surface. What is this? Base or apex? Base. And what is this? Apex. Okay. What are these surfaces called? Lateral surface. Okay. So what are this? Transverse. What does this mean? Fusion of the sacral vertebra. Okay. And what are this? Foramen. Ventral sacral foramen. What structure passes through it? Ventral rami of S1 to S4. And what are these called? These are the lateral masses. Lateral masses are basically formed by fusion of costal and transverse elements. What are costal elements? They basically forms the ribs. Okay, and transverse element, transverse process. So these are formed by the combination of this. Okay, the lateral masses. The lateral masses are formed by costal elements and transverse elements. They fuse together. Okay, so these are lateral masses. Okay, now what is this? Sacral promontory. Okay, okay. What is this? Body of the first sacral vertebra, and these fan-shaped structures are called the ala of the sacrum. What is this? This is the vertebral foramen leading to sacral canal. Okay. What are these? These are superior articular processes. Arising between the pedicle and the lamina. The pedicle is short and thick. Okay, and the lamina are oblique. Now on the posterior surface, what are these tubercles called? Spinous tubercle. Okay, it is forming the median sacral crest. Okay, lateral to it, what are these? No, these are lamina. Okay, so lamina of S1 to S4 fuse with one another, but lamina of S5 will not be able to fuse, and they will form the sacral hiatus. Okay, sacral hiatus. Okay. Now, this is the superior articular process. So, along superior articular process, we have another crest which is called intermediate sacral crest. Okay, along the superior articular process, we are having another crest which is called intermediate sacral crest. Okay, on both sides we are having. Okay. Okay. Now, what is this projected structure on either side of sacral hiatus? Sacral cornua. Okay, so it is basically the inferior articular process of S5 vertebra. Okay, these are sacral cornua. This is inferior articular process of S5 vertebra. Okay, okay. Now, what are these foramen? Dorsal sacral foramen. Okay, what are the structures that passes through it? Dorsal rami of sacral nerve, S1 to S4. Okay, now lateral to it we have this another crest which is called lateral sacral crest. It is basically by the fusion of the transverse processes. Okay, this projected part are called the transverse tubercles. Okay, spinous tubercle, transverse tubercle. Lamina, sacral hiatus, sacral cornua. Okay, dorsal sacral foramen. Okay, median sacral crest, intermediate sacral crest, and lateral sacral crest. Okay, clear? Okay. Now what is this part of the sacrum? Apex. Okay, apex articulate with coccyx. Okay, coccyx. Now what are the surfaces of coccyx? What is this surface? Pelvic surface. What is this? Dorsal surface. Okay. Okay. And what are these margins? Lateral margins. Okay, pelvic surface, dorsal surface, lateral margin, base of the coccyx and the tip of coccyx. Okay. Okay. Now this anterior sacral foramen communicate with the posterior one through the intervertebral foramen. Okay. Now along the sacrum, what were the attachment? Anteriorly we are having the iliacus and posteriorly we are having the lumbosacral ligament. Okay. Pelvic surface, in the middle we are having the middle sacral vessels. On both sides we are having the sympathetic trunk. And here we are having piriformis in the shape of a E. Okay, piriformis like this. Okay, we have the piriformis muscle. Okay, related to second, third, and fourth vertebra. Okay, and here in the coccyx, on the pelvic surface, we are having the coccygeus muscle. Okay, and here we are having the levator ani, and the tip is related with the external anal sphincter. Okay. Now posteriorly, what are the muscle? We are having two, erectus spinae and multifidus. How is erectus spinae attached? It's attached to the spinous tubercle and with the transverse tubercle. And in the space created by it, we have the multifidus. So the dorsal sacral nerve pierces these muscles. Okay. Now, important is what are the structures that comes out through the sacral canal. First is horsetail-like structure. What is those that called? Cauda equina. Then we have the phylum terminae. Then we have the lateral sacral nerve and spinal meninges. Okay, clear? And we have the sacral hiatus. We have the fifth sacral nerve, coccygeal nerve, and phylum terminae. Okay, these are the structure that comes out through the sacral canal and the sacral hiatus. Clear? And pelvic surface, upper two part is related with the peritoneum and lower part is related with the rectum. Okay, and here on the ala, from medial to lateral, we have SLIO, sympathetic trunk, lumbosacral trunk, iliolumbar artery, and obturator nerve. Okay, from medial to lateral. And this part, what is this surface called? Auricular surface. Okay, it resembles the auricle of the pinna, so this is called the auricular surface or inverted L-shaped. Okay, in the lower part, what is this angle? This is the inferolateral angle of sacrum. Okay, in the lower part we have from behind to forward, we have gluteus maximus, sacrotuberous ligament, sacrospinous ligament, and the coccygeus muscle. Okay, and posterior part of the coccyx, here we have the gluteus maximus. Okay, and we have the ganglion impar, which is formed by the two sympathetic trunks combined together, and it is present on the body of first coccygeal vertebra. Okay, clear? Okay.